Prime Minister Narendra Modi returned home late last night, wrapping up his two-day visit to Bangladesh. Before leaving, Modi touched upon the key elements of his visit, including the crucial land boundary pact and Teesta water issue. He praised Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's stand of zero tolerance on terrorism. India and Bangladesh also released a joint declaration at the end of Prime Minister Modi's visit. Here's more.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi ended his maiden visit to Bangladesh with his address to the Indian diaspora in Dhaka yesterday. In the hour-long speech, Modi praised Bangladesh's assurance to tackle terrorism in the region. He said the world did not need expansionism but development.
ये मेरा एक प्रकार से इस यात्रा का आखिरी कार्यक्रम है, लेकिन मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि सचमुच में अब यात्रा शुरू हो रही है.
Earlier on a day packed with engagements, Modi received Bangladesh's Award of Liberation War Honour on behalf of former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. The award came a day after India and Bangladesh ratified their 4-decade-old land boundary agreement that has been widely hailed by the Bangladeshi media as a watershed moment in the relations between the two countries.
भारतवासियों के लिए गौरव का पल है, जिस महापुरुष ने अपना संपूर्ण जीवन देश की सेवा में खपा दिया और राजनीतिक दृष्टि से मेरे जैसे लाखों कार्यकर्ताओं के लिए वे प्रेरणा मूर्ति रहे. ऐसे मां भारती के सपूत भारत रत्न श्रीमान अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी को आज बांग्लादेश सम्मानित कर रहा है.
Modi also held talks with Bangladeshi President on matters of bilateral and regional importance. The two leaders also reviewed progress on the ongoing development projects carried out by India in Bangladesh. The two countries have decided to establish power transmission link.
With this historic visit, I think we are taking the relationship one step ahead, and it's cooperation 360 degrees.
And our Prime Minister agreed in principle to Bangladesh's proposal, to consider Bangladesh's proposal to allow import from India to Bangladesh of additional power in a phased manner through construction of an additional grid interconnection on the western side of Bangladesh.
Modi's jam-packed itinerary on Sunday included a visit to the newly constructed Indian High Commission's Chancery in Dhaka. Modi inaugurated the Chancery complex and interacted with the delegates. He also visited the Ramakrishna Mission, where he took part in special prayers with a group of monks. With inputs from Arfa Khanam Shermani, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Joining me for a chat this morning to talk about Prime Minister Modi's visit to Bangladesh is former diplomat Ambassador Ashok Sajanhar. Ambassador, thank you for joining me on the program this morning. The land border agreement is finally in place. No resolution on the Teesta water river sharing, but how would you look at Prime Minister Modi's visit to Bangladesh?
It has been termed as a historic visit, and I would tend to go along with that description. I think the Prime Minister himself, in his address to the Bangladesh Intelligentsia, Bangladesh at Dhaka University last evening, he himself said that this agreement should not be taken as one where there has been an exchange of a few kilometers there and a few kilometers. It is a coming together of hearts. That is how he termed it. And I think I would go along with that very much, because basically if you look at the problems and difficulties that India as the largest member of the SAARC grouping has been experiencing with its neighbors, all of which are much smaller in size, in population, territory, economy, etc., etc. India in that sense has a very dominating presence in this region. The basic problem in relations with our neighbors has been the trust deficit.
Indeed.
And so I think this visit, and particularly the signing of this agreement, ratification of this agreement by the Indian Parliament after 41 years since it was initially signed between Mrs. Indira Gandhi and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, I think this demonstrates to Bangladesh, it demonstrates to the SAARC countries, it demonstrates to the region and to the world that India is willing to walk the talk and is very serious about strengthening its relations with its neighbors.
Apart from LBA and TISTA, what do you think were the other significant takeaways from this two-day visit?
Number of areas. I think the first was connectivity. Connectivity in terms of not only physical connectivity, the Prime Minister, the two Prime Ministers and Mrs. Mamata Banerjee, they inaugurated the bus services from Calcutta via Dhaka to Agartala and also to Guwahati and Shillong. But also in terms of inland waterways, in terms of maritime, in terms of use of Chittagong port, in terms of people-to-people contact, as he said, as the Prime Minister said, promote tourism, not terrorism, and zero tolerance to terrorism. So that is, but also in terms of grid connectivity, power connectivity, what was mentioned that so far India has been supplying 500 megawatt of electricity to Bangladesh. Now we have agreed to increase it to 1000 megawatt. Also supply 100 megawatt from Tripura. The Prime Minister thanked Bangladesh for the fact that they had allowed access to Indian power plant equipment from Chittagong to Tripura, and he also combined the two, that since we are able to generate electricity there, so Bangladesh is also a beneficiary.
Indeed.
So I think that, and he mentioned also about the blue economy, the broadband connectivity. So this connectivity, I think, is going to be a win-win decision agreement. It will help Bangladesh to grow, to create jobs, for its economy to get stronger and better, and it will help India to have better access to the northeast.
Indeed.
And it will help the economic growth of our northeastern states.
Talking about the northeast and northeastern states, in 2011, when the then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh visited Bangladesh, he took along with him all the chief ministers of the northeastern states as well. But this time around, there was just one chief minister accompanying the Prime Minister. Do you think that that was the right move?
I think it was the right move, because I think it gave, so to say, star billing to the Chief Minister of West Bengal. Because if there had been other Chief Ministers, in that sense, the focus, the profiling of Mrs. Mamata Banerjee would have been, in that sense, come down. It gave her star billing, it gave her prominence, and we also need to see both India as such and Bangladesh, that there are other issues that need to be discussed, whether it is TISTA or it is the division of waters. And there, since water is a state subject, the cooperation, collaboration, understanding of Ms. Mamata Banerjee is required by the central government to make this move forward. And the Prime Minister has said it in so many words that he is very confident that this issue will be resolved.
Indeed. All right. We'll have to leave to that. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for joining us on the program this morning and putting things into perspective for us.
Thank you very much.